Hello buddy, how's it going today? It's Frankie here and I'm back with another TV show review. And this has been a TV show I've been watching for a few weeks now, and it's called the Traitors, Celeb version. That's what I'm going to put in the title because I haven't seen the actual version yet. And I've got to say, this just has to be probably the most overrated show I've the most overrated show I've ever seen. Yeah, can't believe I messed up that sentence. Yeah, somebody told me about this show and they said, yo, this is the best show ever, man. This is incredible. You got to watch it. It's full of drama and everything. When I watched it, it was nothing. There wasn't much. The only type of drama I saw was probably the end of each episode and probably the odd game they played here and there. And it's only 9 episodes, better I mind. Wow, 9 episodes. And they only went on for like 2 days a week. Wednesdays and Thursdays. Tonight was the finale. Hence why I'm making this review now, because I want to see until the end. I don't usually do that. I usually give a few episodes until I make a judgment on it. But a show like this, I need to see until the end. I actually won't mess up too much. This is the first time I won't mess up anything, because this is a show where it kind of eliminates people and stuff like that. So yeah, if you haven't seen it before, I'll go on the rundown of it. There's 3 traitors that Claudia Winkleman picks. If you don't know, if you haven't seen it before, she's like a host. She's hosted other shows before. And there's the rest of them are faithfuls. And they have to actually, banish like the traitors, and then they get the money and stuff like that. This celeb version has like 19 celebrities, I think, and 3 of them have been picked as traitors. And oh my goodness, man, let me tell you one thing. I have never seen a show full of frustrating people in my life. Celebrities, if you want to put it that way. I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to say celebs. Don't want to confuse anybody out there. It was so confusing. You have one celebrity that says, I think that person's the traitor. I'm 100% convinced that person's the traitor. That same person votes at somebody different because they heard something last minute. Why be just sticking with your guns and sticking with the person you want to vote for? And then you have the traitors. I'm not going to mention who they are. The traitors, for me, apart from one person which I think would have done a better job, they stayed longer. I mean, apart from that, the other 2 traitors were just an absolute joke. No offense to those celebs, I'm just saying the traitors that I picked was an absolute joke. Even I would have chose one of them at least. Probably not the other one. But I get it. If you're there, if I was there, I probably would be choosing wrong as well. It's more easy when you sit at the TV. I get it, I completely do. But there were signs. The traitors were practically making it obvious. Again, I'm not going to say who it was, who the traitors are and all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to narrow it down. But I've got to say, it's a very good, it's as overrated as this show is. It's actually a really good concept for a game. I'll give them that. The game and the idea for it is just brilliant. I like it. Right? Luckily, it's a good concept for a game. It would just be a horrendous show in general. It's just too farcical. It just feels like just a bit too frustrating. Sounds like it's kind of like, oh, okay, and here and there, this and that. It didn't go on long enough as well. That's what I think the show should have done. It should have gone long enough. The games, I gotta say, look kind of fun. They were like, there was times where they were like, I think, they had to push something like a horse, like a big wooden horse, and then, they had to go into a gate and answer a question, I think. And they also get shields. I forgot how much it is at the start, but obviously if somebody gets a shield, they're immune, basically, to get murdered. And then there's like another game that they play where they're like in the forest, or like in the woods or something. I would say forest. And they get to play these games that there's traps, so they get it wrong, the celeb gets caught in a trap. So those type of things. There's also another game where they just had a train, like, before, they did the last round table. That was quite fun. I like these type of games, I'm not going to lie. The games are kind of a good setup right here. I kind of like that. I did miss one episode. And that's when the first traitor got banished. I don't think I'm trying to mention... No, I was watching a football match then too. But if I mention it, there's going to give a little clue on who got voted out in that one. So, yeah. But I was watching a match on when one traitor got banished. So, yeah, to be fair, it wasn't that big of a deal. One episode missed is not really that bad. I don't know what kind of challenge they were doing, to be honest. But yeah, and then there's another part with discrepancy in the show where they eliminated, where the Traitors eliminated one celeb, right? Where one celeb went to like a flower. This is gonna give away, because actually, to be honest, I could probably say the names because the names are on there. That's actually another thing. That's actually another thing that makes this show so silly and so weird and so crazy and so stupid in a sense. Like, we know who the Traitors are. That doesn't make it dramatic enough. Don't tell us who it is. Let Claudia pick them, and then we have to guess. And then when they get voted, we know. There's no point. I mean, I understand that to say it for the faithfuls, right? For them in the room with their traitor or not. I get that concept. Don't tell us. I want to be surprised. I don't have this whole thing of like, oh, this is the Traitors. It's like watching a game that Detective Columbo made up. I know it's fictional detective, but it's almost like he made this game up. Okay, you know, people already know on the TV who the murderers, so we're gonna let them know who the Traitors are instead. I find that as a ridiculous concept. And also, you know, obviously when the first celeb gets murdered, that celeb comes back into like the dining room where they eat. What? Don't get it. And she basically was in a coffin where they have to, there like some props have been brought up for like to represent a celeb, and they have to guess who it is. What? But that same celeb is still banished anyway. What? That makes no sense. They never did that again, so I never understood that whole concept of the show. But the rest of it, fair enough. The rest of when the rest of the celebs were banished, when the Traitors took some of the other celebs out, fair enough. But then when they took them out, well, actually, this is another thing also I didn't get. They have to open an envelope to say that they've been banished by the Traitors. Sorry? I don't mind when... I actually kind of prefer that when we don't know who got banished until it came to like when they were at the table eating. Whoever told me, I know who told me this is a good show. I don't know if I want to write him out though. I mean, he already knows how I feel about the show. But look, it's a family member that told me about the show. I mean, his excuse is, oh, it's celebs. Oh, it's a celeb version now. Okay, that's why it's poor. Yeah. Maybe it might be different with the non-celeb version, possibly because they don't know each other. The celebs, I mean, they act as if they never see each other again. They act as if the celebs that I've actually got murdered. It's just a game. And it's for money, but it's a game. Regardless, I mean, inside the people at the end, I would want to win the money. That's the only disappointment there, but come on. Ridiculous. I mean, this show has got everything wrong. Claudia, I don't know what the producers and I think you should have a word with them, because I know what the whole concept is. I know what the show is about, but I'm not sure what they were trying to do with the whole concept of things, like with having to, like, it's not, it didn't get me gripped enough. I only watched it because somebody told me to watch it, and I might as well watch it because it's a review on a different show. It's something different. It's out of my comfort zone. I don't like it. I like the game. I like the concept of the game. Don't get me wrong, the little games that they did, you know. But other than that, I don't know what else to say. The round table is a dramatic part where they start having a debate. It wasn't debated enough. It needs to be a bit more like, more stories going about, more craziness. It's just like they're having a normal conversation. Some have an overreaction. I understand, I probably would be a bit annoyed too, but not over the top, like that Mark. No, actually, yeah, I always said one of his name anyway. I didn't mean to say one of the celebs' names, but yeah, you get an idea anyway. That's one celeb where he was just like, I mentioned his name, I'm going to pretend I didn't, where he was like slamming his getting. I think all of them overreacted actually, to be honest, so it's not just him anyway. I even forgot there was one good game that they played where they had to match the faces under them, the statues, well no, mannequins basically. And yeah, the lasers, there was a bit of a dramatic bit when one of them, where the last face was put on. I kind of like that. I think I would give them one there, especially the ending to this last episode, the you know, where they were around at the bonfire. The one thing I didn't get is when they banished, you know, but they did banish a traitor then, I'm not going to mention who, when they did say this, when they said, and then Claudia said this celebrity will not announce they're a traitor or they were faithful. That's ridiculous. honest to God, I don't. That's just ridiculous. That doesn't make no sense to me. Change up towards the answer. What she was trying to do. Not enough drama for me. I gotta say the end part, I could probably give him that one, but again, it wasn't good enough for me. And yeah, the ending part, I'm not gonna say towards the end there. I just don't know what else to think about the show. I really don't. Maybe it's because it's a celeb version. I wasn't feeling it. I'm not sure how many episodes. I got asked how many episodes there is in like the non-celeb version. I sure hope it's better. I really do, because the concept of the game is good. I will play it. I mean, I'll be a terrible traitor because, yeah, as you can tell with the way I talk and how I don't think I'll be that good as a traitor whatsoever. Of Faith I could just about handle. I'll probably be taken out first, knowing me from the, by the traitors. Knowing my luck. I don't know what to say. There's only one rating I have in my head that's been staying with me throughout, and I just have to say this rating is actually very fair. I just couldn't think of any way this could be higher. I could have given it lower. When I first heard about it, I was like, it's a terrible, it's a terrible show. When that was okay, I was like, okay, knocked a rating up or two. I'll give them that one. Again, I can see why I didn't want to watch the non-sub version as well, but I guess I've got to at some point. Maybe I'll see. I might change my mind on that one, but this is the same person, by the way, that actually said SWAT is cringy. Can you believe that? And this person said that this TV show is the best. Really? Wow. Okay. Jesus. Well, that's concerning for me, isn't it? I know the shows I watch won't be. No, I know the shows I like won't be to everyone's taste. But come on, I know it's a different kind of like show. You know, SWAT and the Traitors. I know it's different kind of shows, but I'm just saying in general. I can name 5 better shows than this. Not in this exact order. Impractical Jokers, SWAT, Person of Interest. I might put in a quiz show, The Chase. Possibly Beat the Chasers. Maybe I could go one better. Deal No Deal, I'll probably say is a bit more dramatic. Those are probably way more shows that are better than this. This ain't even in my top 10, I don't think, of my all-time favourite shows. I like the concept, but they just ruined it, to be honest with you. And this video looks like it could be short. And as well, don't get me wrong, the setting, the castle is just beautiful. I would stay there, don't get me wrong. I can understand why they'll be excited to stay there. I would be too. That, I will give them that as well. You know, it's just certain things are quite good, but again, yeah, you can obviously imagine that I'm describing this show in an average way, because the show is average. And for that, the rating for this is a 6 out of 10. Every time I've watched this show, that number came into my head continuously. There's no way it could go up. There's no way it's going to go up. I don't even think there's a way it could be decreased. Maybe 5 or 6. But you know what? I think that's a bit of a fair rating, to be honest. Improvements? Don't tell us who the Traitors and Faithfuls are. Make more episodes. I don't know if the non-sub version may have more episodes. But what else? Don't, make people read an envelope to say they get banished by the Traitors. That's just a bit ridiculous. Have more games in it, because I kind of like the challenges they do and all that sort of stuff, like missions if you want to call it. Have a bit more craziness at the round table. Maybe have a bit more twists and turns. You know what I mean? I like that. I like the twists and turns. Other than that, I mean, I did mention the positives. Good setting, good concept for a game. Good round table bit. I kind of like it. I kind of like that part, but have more going on there. But other than that, it's surely gotta be a bit of an average show. It has to be. So you might think differently. There was one scene I forgot to mention too, where if one of the Celebs see Claudia Winkleman, they say if the others see like the Traitors, then they're banished. Fair enough. I'll give them that one too. And also, don't tell us who got banished. Actually, don't tell us who got killed by the Traitors. Just leave it. Don't tell us. Let's be surprised by the next day, because it already kills the surprise. Maybe the non-celeb version, it comes on every day, possibly anyway. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. There's not much else for me to explain. 6 out of 10 it is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share with you know, subscribe and hit the notification below. So see you in my next video.